I know that my soul is a spiritual pioneer, that I am a global shift leader. I know that. And my whole life, I have not fit in. I have often stood out, been ostracized, criticized, bullied, picked on, called crazy, you name it. And a big part of that I have not taken to personally. And at times when I was younger, I did. And I really, like, I love the film, like, Man of Steel, like, the story of Superman. And my soul relates to that because being like a soul from like another star system that comes to humanity to help humanity to actually heal and find balance. If you
This is in this journaling. This is some journaling that I did a few years ago, and I'm going to gradually go through this few pages a day, as well as the current journals. And now we'll
planting seeds of awareness and experience for others to draw from when they too are ready to live into her sacred truths. And so when I look at this, I know that my soul is a spiritual pioneer, that I am a global shift leader. I know that. And my whole life, I have not fit in. I have often stood out, been ostracized, criticized, bullied, picked on, called crazy, you name it. And a big part of that I have not taken to personally. And at times when I was younger, I did. And I really, like, I love the film, like, Man of Steel, like, the story of Superman. And my soul relates to that because being like a soul from like another star system that comes to humanity to help humanity to actually heal and find balance. If you think of the symbol of Superman, he's constantly got humans that are competitive with him. Like, you think of the newspaper reporter constantly trying to mess his image up and tell the world that he's, you know, a criminal and he's dark. He's constantly under attack from others that are, you know, challenged by his power. He's got the arch nemesis who wants to take him down because he's so in his wounded child of pain and he's so jealous of him. And I think of this, and Superman, to me, represents the Christ consciousness. Like, he, in essence, is when we embody our divinity, we become so powerful, we become so impenetrable that we will create great shifts. But the thing that's got to shift is that these souls that come in, like my own, that come here to help, they come here to empower, to teach through alignment, through their example. If you keep trying to kill them, which throughout history, if you look, you have, humanity has, you have taken out Christ, you have taken out Gandhi, you have taken out John Lennon, you have taken out Martin Luther King Jr., you have taken out so many, JFK, John F. Kennedy, so many souls that have come and stepped up to the plate to actually make a difference and to actually lead a shift in consciousness. Abraham Lincoln, you name it, there's so many. And they get taken out because misaligned humans are terrified of what they're here teaching. And what they're teaching, if you look, it's the same message. It's been the same message throughout history. We're here to show each other equal treatment and honor and kindness. You are not cooler because you have a different skin color. You are not superior because you belong to a different club, religion, group. You are not more, empowered to take from people or to tell them what to do because you're in a military order. This is all things that have been shown throughout history that are not in alignment, and souls continuously show up and materialize to bring the message to humanity. But it's really time that I feel could be pretty freaking awesome if we start listening to that awareness and we start shifting. And one of the songs that came to me the other night, there's a couple songs. One was Heal the World, literally came into my consciousness when I was asking Source, a question of like, what are you calling me to do? And this song just started playing in my consciousness, which was Michael Jackson. I totally encourage you guys to watch that video later. I was crying. It's beautiful. Michael Jackson's soul was also a beautiful spiritual leader here to kind of stand out and be different, but also to show humanity how much love and light is available in creativity, even though he was ostracized and criticized, and I feel totally tarred and feathered in his own career and way. And if you watch that video, his soul shines through in that video so much. And the other song that came to me today that I encourage you to watch the video also is by Michael Jackson, and it is The Man in the Mirror. another beautiful song about alignment. And we each have to really focus on the fact that our ultimate goal and our ultimate focus is our own alignment. I can see that my family, there's family that I have come from in bloodline that I care for deeply, and I can see their suffering. I see their dis-ease. I see the sickness in their consciousness, the enslavement. I see it, and I rose out of it. I ascended out of there, and I refuse to descend into that darkness another day. And a lot of these souls don't understand that. And so to them, they're like, Tanya thinks she's all that. She's abandoned us. You know, she's crazy. All this stuff gets projected on me. But in truth, I am just seeing myself and seeing my own destiny and honoring that love and alignment in myself, self-love. And I feel that I have done that work, and I continue to do that work of looking in the mirror and seeing myself and making those changes in myself. And this is why I feel my life is so freaking awesome, and why I love my life, because I dare to live it truthfully. Even if none of you like me, I could give a shit. I truly do not give a shit. I love you all, and I would love to be honored, and I would love to have you come and say nice things to me and connect with me out of honor. But if you choose not to, I really won't lose any sleep over it, because I know that's not about me. And so if each of us can get this fucking ballsy and bold, like I'm mirroring to you, you can do amazing things in this life. You can become so powerful, because what's holding most of you back is your goddamn fear of being yourself. Your fear of actually owning and embodying your power. Your fear of, what are they going to think of me? They're going to think I'm weird because I hear them talk about Tanya and say she's weird. Oh God, I don't want them to think I'm weird, but I fucking love Tanya. She's awesome. And so I literally have clients that say this stuff to me. They love me when they're around me, but then they're like, oh, my husband thinks you're kind of weird and you're arrogant because you're so in your power. And I'm like, well, then that shows you you're living with that guy, and it shows you what your tests and challenges will be, is that if he says these things about me and you have that honor and you can't show up with that power, this is your work. And what happens is a lot of times we don't want to do that work. So we'll start to blame and shame the ones that actually are mirroring the way for us. They're actually shining that light, and we're terrified, so we blame them. Now we turn on the messengers. Let's stop doing that. What do you say, humanity? So here, I pulled up the Man in the Mirror lyrics. I'm just going to read a few lines, and I really encourage you to watch the video. But it says, I'm going to make a change for once in my life. It's going to feel real good, going to make a difference, going to make it right. As I turn up the collar on my favorite winter coat, the wind is a-blow in my mind. I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind? Pretending not to see their needs. A summer's disregard, a broken bottle's top, and one man's soul. They follow each other on the wind, you know, 'cause they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change. And like, I won't read it all, but I just wanted to tune into that, because in truth, if you want to make the world a better place, you have to change. If you want to make your world a happy, awesome place, you got to do your shifting work. I have had, mostly success stories as a healer and a mentor. I work with clients that I see amazing transformation and shifts with, and we have great relationships. They love me. I love them. Co-creative awesomeness. But at the same time, there has been a handful or two of clients that have come along that don't want to do their work. And one day they love the messages that are coming until it means they have to shift some things. And then they refuse to focus. They refuse to align. They refuse to show up with integrity and honor. And then now they got to lash out at the messenger. They got to hate the messenger. And this is even them hating the messenger, whether it's myself or any of you listening maybe can relate to this. You've had family lash out at you, or you've had coworkers or loved ones lash out at you. Don't take it personally. Get away from that energy. I definitely recommend that. That's the love, compassion of self-love part of it. You want to make sure you're not enabling that behavior too long and not tolerating too long. I feel like a lot of us as warriors of light and the angelic earth angels have a thing in common where often we are very tolerant and we tolerate a lot of abuse, but there comes a time where you really learn that you don't have to. Like, you can tolerate so much, and then you can walk and move your energy. You may not be able to change or shift them, and that's okay. Just send love and honor to them as you release, and you move on. And that is really, in essence, we're learning to be in our own flow, and we're learning to have that integrity, and that's all you really have power over as far as with other humans, is your own alignment, your own choice. So I really encourage you guys to listen to that song and really let it, click inside of, what in myself do I need to shift? What in myself could I actually, and don't focus on problem, like find it, see it. If you're an alcoholic, see that and own it and go, yeah, I tend to drink my sorrows away. Let me own that. But now love the shit out of yourself as you heal it. You don't want to see the problem and then go into martyrdom and misery and like, oh, I'm not worthy. That is not the answer. That is like an anchor on your soul, and it is going to drag you down, and that is not going to help anybody. The key is to, rectify things. You want to heal things. If you've done someone wrong, if you have shown no honor, go and rectify things. And if you can't do it in the physical and they've moved on, send it spiritually and energetically. It's rectify things. You want to heal things. If you've done someone wrong, if you have shown no honor, go and rectify things. And if you can't do it in the physical and they've moved on, send it spiritually and energetically. It still will work. It will get to where it needs to go. But we need to get to that place where we really find that honor and alignment in ourselves. And then we can love the crap out of ourselves so that we can rise and we can ascend into a new vibration, into a new reality where we really show up for ourselves and each other with integrity, authenticity, and love. That is the destiny of humanity. In a nutshell, we are, like the Celestine prophecy says and prophecies, is that we are going to walk into a heaven that has been here on earth. It is already here. And we are going to walk into it. And energetically, if you can feel that, if you feel like you're in hell, it's because you're at a different vibration in your consciousness. You're at a lower frequency. So you can't even fathom or see the beauty that's all around in that vibration with that focus. But if you shift your frequency and you go into love and you love yourself, no matter what you've done wrong, what you think is a judgment, what you think you've done that's out of alignment, own it and go and rectify it and then clear it, release it, and rise. And that is what I am mirroring to all of my family that want to call me crazy, all of the humans that want to lash out and try to ruin my image as a healer. I am sending nothing but love to all of you. I have no ill will. You are not my enemies. And even though you see as me as a perceived enemy, I know it is your fear. You see the world as you are, not as it is. All I'm encouraging humans to do is to start opening yourselves to see from an aligned focal point so that you can actually raise your own vibration. You can return to love. You can return to oneness. You can embody your divinity. And in doing so, you are going to help and mirror that to everyone in your world. But the trick is, and here's the true truth, I will not lie to you, if you have the courage to come into your full alignment and to show up with absolute integrity and authenticity and be true to self, right now, as things are shifting, do not be afraid if others don't approve of that. That is so important, because I can tell you for a fact from my own experience, just about every time I've been in a phoenix energy and I am just like burning old stuff off and I feel like I'm about to rise and ascend into a newer, higher vibration, I have humans all around me wanting to throw rocks at me while I fly. They're just like, what? You have no right to fly. And they're energetically psychic attack, throwing rocks, negative words, hateful things. And in essence, if you can just keep freaking rising anyways, that's what needs to happen, because they're in a sense terrified that you're leaving them and they want you to stay at the frequency they're in, but you can't, because your soul is like, we're done with this frequency. It's time to go higher. And as you go higher, you actually will mirror to the ones that are on that surface that are ready to go higher as well. You will mirror the courage it takes. You will mirror that power, and it will actually help them. It will help them more than you understand. So if we delay our own evolution and we hold back and procrastinate our own expansion, in essence, we delay our own frequency shift, and we
Mess it up.
also
Look at that.
kind of